Hello, and thank you for coming to my stream. This is Viadora of Viadora Plays Hugs and Kisses. So, I have only played base game one time, and that was probably at least a year ago. Alright, so what we're going to be doing is a Yuri route. My first playthrough, I did a solely exclusive Natsuki route, and then I fell in love with Monica during Act 2, and then of course beyond. And so I only know what I know of Yuri from things that people tell me, bits of mods I've seen Illyria Plays do, and we've got work to do on our upcoming mod, which involves knowing about Yuri, so we're going to get a refresher course. Alright, let's get this going here. New game, we will enter my name. We'll go by Via, as I often do. Hey! Again, I'm using my own voices, so we're just gonna see how this goes. I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. I overslept again. But I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Via. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with the students making their daily commute. By the way, Via, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm really not interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know? And I know you're happy now, but I'd die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised to even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit. Even if she does exaggerate everything inside her head. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello? Sayori? Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, you know. Know what? Well, that you could come to my club. Sayori. Yeah? There is no way I'm going to your club. Me. Sayori's vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title Vice President. I'm gonna get a drink real quick. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead, or if she's so cunning as to have planned all of this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine. I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes, let's go. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here. I told you, don't call me a new member. I glanced around the room. Girl 1. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. And now I can't even hear this vanilla line without hearing Illy in Zara's position scream atmosphere. So baby, if you'd be so kind as to come over there, just give me some atmosphere. Atmosphere! Thank you. Aw, Via, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. She's also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back toward the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Well, it's nice to meet both of you. Good night, Fizzy. And it sounds like you already know Monica, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Via. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. One of Kaiju's favorite mods is by 12 Gizguy, or Jizguy, 6 Salvation. Starts the night of the festival and then goes from there. No vanilla in that mod, he says. Which I can appreciate, and I know if you've seen Illyria Plays that you've probably heard this once or twice, or even heard from Fly Kunai. But we are working on our own mod that does have some vanilla text, but the concept we're tossing around is the ability to choose to skip it. That way, if you want to experience it, you're more than welcome to, but if you don't, you don't have to. And I don't know why that seems so revolutionary. Just give the player the choice. But, you know, to each their own. We'll find out how well it works whenever we get around to releasing this mod. But back to it. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically, completely out of my league. So, having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monica. Come, sit down, Via. We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there's one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrap tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Why won't you let me sit next to Monica? I'm doing a Yuri route anyways, but it'd be nice to help Monica feel better at least once or twice. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Ooh! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. You know, if Sayori is such the sweet hound that all the fan arts and everything I've seen, how does she fit in such a tight, tiny little sweater vest? She must have the metabolism of, I don't know, something mythical with high metabolism. Words. The whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute. I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monica, and I follow. Why do I have so much going on here? Okay. Boop-a-doop. Alright. It's delicious. Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. Sorry. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my directions. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like Haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything? Oh, I thought you technically did. Sayori said... Well, maybe, but not for you know, you dummy. Alright. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Alright, since this is vanilla game and I have opinions galore, occasionally I'm just gonna, spit them out there. Natsuki is best girl. She was my first playthrough. I love Monica, but that is for very specific Monica-esque reasons, which I will save for when they come up again. But her logic makes perfect sense, MC. She was worried you didn't like it, and she just made them for the new member, not specifically for this MC guy. So anyways. Back to it. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not. Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So, what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so... That's okay. Don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it is my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, you know. To be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. Well, then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. Now, you just said you were not going to be one of those clubs that stresses about events, Monica. Just reminding you. You know, there's mods where you get a little too into it. Not going to name any names. Just going to exit that discussion. Yeah, my jokes are a little tongue-in-cheek, but that's Via. And it's a joke. I loved exit music, so nobody take offense to that. And if you don't like exit music and you want to argue about it, at me. We'll go. We'll talk about it in Reddit. Illyria thinks it's hilarious I say things like at me, bro. But I'm Via, that's all I have to say. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah. We'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, Via, what kinds of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. I'm here to run a Yuri route, but the cute little pink-haired, just so excited about manga, I just want to run her route again. Ha! It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. Italy's comment in chat is, you just want to grab her by the hair and take her to daddy. Which... I agree. I have... There are mods that I love. And a lot of the mods that I do love that I have seen but not yet played, so will stream at some point, involve Dad Suki being a horrible piece of shit. In great detail. So, any jokes about, any horrible jokes about bad things that happen to Natsuki will usually elicit a laugh from me. But, that's back to Yuri. Yeah, don't get Kaiju-senpai started. Oh, I know. His visceral reaction to the Datsuki from Fruits is why I want to make sure that I play at least a Natsuki run in Fruits of the Literature Club. Just because I want to experience that. But again, back to the game. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I could relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you, I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh? Why's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right. You usually like to write about... Hold on. Wrong inflection. That's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called... Don't say it out loud! Give that back! Fine, fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute! Natsuki, you write your own poems? Let's see what Kaiju has to say. On the original exit music, I already have made my stance on it clear enough times, and don't really like starting fights over it. In short, I've made my peace with it. Hideki, the fruit's Datsuki, quite an evil rapist bastard, but the perfect sacrificial lamb that keeps on giving for my Justice series. And Illyria is complimenting my Natsuki. She's been here since I've tried to develop it. And been working on it, so that the praise, especially in public, is really nice to hear. As far as Kaiju's view on Datsuki, as much as it's been described to me without giving me spoilers, because I would like my reactions to be natural for the people who get to see me stream it or record it, because I'm a weird one. Okay. Natsuki, you write your own poems. Take some water. Natsuki's voice requires water. Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Oh, that is some mighty bold words in my opinion, and I cannot wait. So, what Illyria tells me is Hideki, the Dadsuki from Fruits, makes Atami from the Behind Closed Doors and Fluffyverse in general look like a teenage ruffian, which makes me want to do it that much more. If y'all think I should, try to harass her and hassle her more to let me help her voice the Natsuki version of her Fruits route, maybe I can get to streaming it sooner than later, so I can have a strong opinion. But she's got more viewers than I do, and most of y'all are hers, so you'll probably do what she says. I do. Back to the game. Why don't you share them sometime? No! Natsuki... I don't have to describe it that way. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities, and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have some writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. Yuri got called out. I guess it's the same for Yuri. Aw, I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Nani? Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica.
Wait, did you seriously just split out her hair?
Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Via? Monica smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. Huh? Well, what's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But... I'm sorry. I thought... Yeah... You all... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls, then I'll sell my soul for poetry. Anyway. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Yes, I'm so happy. Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey! You really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Via, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey, Via, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right, Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and, of course, Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright, I just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Alright, so, tragedy, I think. Nope, tragedy is Sayori. Okay. How about massacre? There we go. Incongruent is too large of a word for Natsuki. How about unrequited for that unrequited love? That is Sayori. God, I should have known that, you know. Okay. Let's go with, aura. And then we'll go with, infinite could be a Monica word. Hopefully it's also a Yuri word. It is. Haha. Hopeless, you know, part of the thinking that I've been getting wrong is it's not that Yuri's a depressed goth girl. She's the nerdy goth girl in the corner, and Sayori's the depressed one. So words that one might think would be for Yuri could be for Sayori. Let's go with sensation. And then crimson. And let's go with analysis. And here we will go with unrestrained. And then ambient. Effulgent. I like the music, and I can't help myself. Let us go with... Oh, good questions. I'm going to go with afterimage. Entropy is a good word. That could be a good Yuri word. And then tenacious. And we'll go with scars. Oh no, that's Sayo. Scar tissue that I wish you saw. Can't sing any more of it than that, but... let's use vivacious because I like saying the word vivacious. And then we will go with... misery? Nope. Melancholy, frightening, peaceful, intellect. Let's go with intellectual. And then... infallible. Pretty sure I got a Yuri route. Alright, so we finished the thing. We will start up here next time. Hopefully it won't take me too long to get to the next time. If you are following me on Twitch, please go ahead and click on the little bell, get your little notifications, or hit follow, whatever you're supposed to hit for each YouTube. Like the video, subscribe, leave comments if you would like. You can comment on my YouTube video when it's posted. I also have a Reddit. It's r/ViadoraPlays. I'm also user u/ViadoraPlays. So if you post something there, there's only 5 members right now, and there's only 2 posts, and they're both mine. I'll see it. If you have comments or suggestions on the voices that I use, suggestions on what might be fun, or even after this mod, my next intention, whenever I do finish this, or I'm done streaming it, because once you get beyond Act 1, I kind of know what's going on, so I don't feel so pressured to keep playing. I just need to know more about Yuri. I need to refresh myself fully with her concept. But after that, relapse replay. After that, open to suggestions. Or if you just want to post memes that you think are funny, if you have off-color Doki jokes, please feel free to post them in my Reddit as well. As long as they're not vulgarly offensive, we'll be okay. But again, thank you for coming to my stream. And if you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching the recording. And again, this is Viadora of Viadora Plays. Hugs and kisses. Until next time, see you on the flip side. Or as I like to say, see you on the flippy.